Yeah. Hey, everybody. Welcome
Hi, everyone.
Yeah. Where are we? What is this?
We're in the Green Phantom's apartment recording What's Phantom in Japan, episode what?
I'll tell you in a second.
What?
Are we still doing
what?
that?
No,
People still do that.
I never did that before. It was my first time, I swear to God.
How you doing, Green Phantom?
I'm pretty good, you know. Still feeling a little battered and bruised as an older gentleman. But I'm good, man. The future is bright.
Older gentleman, maybe, but the wrestling business doesn't help either.
No, it doesn't help.
The age is one thing, but pro wrestling is hard too, right?
Yeah, the knees are a little wonky, but still carrying my weight around, so we're good, man.
Well, that's good as long as you're still standing.
Yeah, I just got back from the gym. I'm feeling pretty pumped. All right. Speaking of old, PCO, man.
Yeah.
That
How about
guy
that?
is going wild. You know, I'm not sure if we covered it on the last episode. Maybe we talked it a bit, but
I don't know if we mentioned him going to Ring of Honor, and he debuted in Ring of Honor too. Did you see that with Marty Scurll?
Yeah, it makes so much sense. Like, it makes more sense than Marty Scurll himself being a villain. You know, being the Frankenstein.
Yeah,
it's like a horror show villain. You know, it's fantastic. I'm really excited to see what goes on there. I mean, as a 53-year-old guy, he's really heavy still. You know, he's quite a barrel of a man. You know. But he's killing it, you know, on the indie scene all over the place. I'm really happy to see it. And have you seen any of his matches, Dave Simon?
Yeah, I've seen a few of his matches there. Well, I saw that match he did with Walter.
Yeah,
right?
With the Walter. He did that again in IWS a couple of months ago. But and it was at that show that me and Peace were talking, and he asked me if he could use one of my moves. Did I tell you this story already?
I think you did. With it, we talked about it, and now he's using it. Have you seen him use it?
Yeah, I saw him, some of the clip. It looked cool.
That's pretty cool. And what's the move called?
It's called the Phantom Menace.
Now, so the Ring of Honor commentators, when they talk about that move and PCO doing that move, they should call it the Phantom Menace.
I
right?
hope they do.
That'd be cool.
I haven't seen him do it in ROH, and when I did see it, it was no commentary. So.
PCO is 50 years old.
53.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
and he's now just signed to Ring of Honor, and he's with Marty Scurll and Brody King.
Yeah,
right.
The Villain Club. Yeah.
I don't know too much about Brody King, but he looked impressive.
Yeah,
he's huge, and I've heard about him, but I haven't seen him wrestle that much.
Yeah, I've seen him on the indie scene here and there, but nothing huge like this. And you know, Marty Scurll needed something because everyone left him. Right, he's all by himself now.
Yeah, which is weird, right? Like. Yeah. The Elite seem to be leaving New Japan and Ring of Honor.
Yeah, it looks like they were going to start their own Fed.
With
Mark Cuban, I think it is.
I don't know. I think it's somebody who owns the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay,
apparently they have a lot of money. Okay. I don't know. It's a football guy, from what I understand, and I don't know how it's going to work out. We don't know yet, because I think they're waiting till January 1st when their contracts expire to kind of reveal what they're doing.
What's going on there?
But it's kind of sad that Marty's not with them. You know, Marty, I guess he's stuck in Ring of Honor. He's still got a contract.
Maybe, his contract isn't up, so
that's it.
He's there, and but I mean, once it's up, if their Fed is going strong, I'm sure he'll join up, no problem, because they're all buddies. They're all buddies, you know.
What do you think about them putting a promotion together? We've heard that the Young Bucks and Cody would be involved. I don't know about Kenny Omega. He's the IWGP Heavyweight Champ. He does have that match with Tanahashi. Maybe he drops a belt and then he goes and does that Elite wrestling promotion.
I'm pretty sure he will keep with New Japan and maybe and do the new thing. I think he'll do both. The way New Japan works, they're able to do indie bookings, right? Unlike WWE, you're exclusive. New Japan, you're not exclusive, and it's gonna be cool. Like, for a long time, I know Hogan got a lot of heat for stopping the union, or being credited with stopping the union in WWE. Right now, this is a whole new approach, because now you skip over the need for a union, and the boys become the bosses. Right?
That's right,
and that's what's happening here. They're basically taking control and putting it in their hand. But the thing is, eventually, when you're a boy and you're a boss, you end up being a boss anyway, and you're still There's people that, you even though you're a wrestler and you want to treat everyone fairly, to be a promoter, you still sometimes have to be a dick, and you still sometimes have to shortchange people, or not let's say pay them what they're worth, because honestly, most people are worth more than they're paid,
Of course.
Especially you, I can see.
Of course.
So everyone, it solves, I'm sure it solves some abuses, but in the end, it's good for the boys. The wrestlers taking over, which I like. So they'll get, it won't go in some corporate pocket, but it still goes in, the richer they get. I mean, those guys are pretty rich right now. They're rolling it. So, it's just a more lucrative opportunity. But between most wrestlers and between you and me, they were doing fine already. They don't need.
Well,
this.
that's the big gamble, I think, for them. It's like they were doing so well in the Ring of Honor, in the New Japan, just kind of back and forth working the indies. Now to start their own promotion, it's a big risk, and there's no guarantee that it'll work. This is a crowded market right now. There's the WWE, which is never going to be taken down, although it's not looking good for them these days. Then you have Ring of Honor, and you have Impact Wrestling, and you have New Japan, and you have Dragon Gate, and you have all these different promotions, All Japan. There's a lot of talent out there, but there's a lot of competition too. If you are just Cody and the Bucks starting from scratch, maybe Jericho's there too. That's a good core group, but you need more than that, right?
Yeah, and like you said, there's a depth of indie talent out there. Like they'll have no problem filling their roster. It also depends how much they want to do shows. Because they'll be working their own schedule. I can see them, not having a horrible work schedule. I mean, again, it's all speculation to what they want to do. But I could easily see them doing, maybe 3 shows a week. That's it. Or less,
That seems like a lot, even 3 shows a week.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Again, it depends what's going on. What the TV deal is. If it's just house shows, because like that All In thing, right? That gave them a lot of balls, a lot of ideas, a lot of confidence, and that thing sold out in minutes. And I recently bought tickets for the New Japan show and ROH show at MSG there,
right,
WrestleMania weekend, and that thing sold out in like 10 minutes as well. So like it actually NXT, they moved NXT. Like the WWE moved their NXT show because of all the indie stuff going on.
Yeah, there's so much going on that weekend, and that Ring of Honor New Japan show.
And like WWE doesn't move for anybody.
Did you get tickets for that? The Ring of Honor New Japan show?
Yeah,
wow.
That's what I just said. Did you not hear? What I
sorry,
said?
I was getting stuff together.
Yeah, like I said, it's sold in 10 minutes. But WWE doesn't move for anybody, and they did move their show that night for all the indie stuff going on. It's pretty intense.
Well, that's it. They're facing a lot of pressure right now. And now the Cody and the Elite, they're trying to add more pressure to it. But they're done with Ring of Honor. And we watched that, too. This is a New Japan show, but we watched the Ring of Honor Final Battle. And
yeah, well, that
was fun.
We're talking about PCO there. And, I was surprised that, but I guess it makes sense because he's leaving, that Cody tapped out like that. But
yeah.
I always found, sorry, Jay, not that you'd listen, but Jay Lethal, very underwhelming. I don't know. I think he's one of the most overrated champs there are. He never really did it for me, man. I don't know why.
He's good. Like he's solid. You can't say he's a bad wrestler,
no, definitely
right?
not. He's a great wrestler.
But I understand.
Just doesn't do it for me. I don't see. I can easily look away from a Jay Lethal match.
He's not a guy that I've ever tuned in specifically to see.
Totes.
But he is the Ring of Honor World Champion.
Yeah, which I find really surprising how long he's been that champion too.
Yeah,
it's been a long time.
But he's one of those guys that's always in Ring of Honor. Like he doesn't leave. He's kind of a lifer, and they protect those guys and they take care of those guys. Look at the Ladder War match. It was the Briscoes winning. The Briscoes are Ring of Honor through and through,
forever,
right?
Yeah.
They beat SCU and the Young Bucks. The match was amazing.
Yeah, usually is.
And the Briscoes are awesome. They're an awesome talent that people don't talk enough about because they're just always in Ring of Honor, and it seems like they'll never go anywhere else. But they're one of the best tag teams in the world and have been for
for a while.
At least 10 years, right?
Yeah, I mean, and they don't shop themselves around. Like, you know, they don't. They because of their talent, they could easily do a little thing in New Japan, or even, you know, try out the NXT or whatever. But they don't.
Yeah.
They don't even try. You know, they don't care.
What's up with those guys?
I don't know. I guess
have you crossed paths with those guys at all?
Yeah, I have. They wrestled IWS. Well, one of them, I forget which one, wrestled IWS a few years ago. It was supposed to be a tag match, but one of them broke their leg at the time.
Oh.
So it was just a one-on-one, and we talked for a bit. They at the time, they were being driven around the country by their mom in a camper.
Really?
In an RV thing.
They're characters, those guys.
I wonder if that's changed. Yeah, there's some great promos, man. It always sticks in my mind. I forget he was talking crap about I guess the
Motor City Machine Guns.
That's it.
Yeah,
and one of them wears a mouthpiece, right?
Okay.
So one of the Briscoes in his promo after a long tirade, he's like, Terry Funk don't wear no mouthpiece, which I really dig. Like the ideas expressed in that thought, they're very layered and it's awesome. Like, respect to the old school Terry Funk, the toughness.
That's right.
And also dissing you punk kid with your stupid mouthpiece.
That's right.
Know?
Terry Funk would never do that. Never do that.
So
and it's good to kind of, if you are the Briscoes or a lot of pro wrestlers, you know, live your life to Terry Funk. Like, would Terry Funk do this? Yes or no, and you act accordingly.
Yeah, but honestly, most people can't live up to that level of toughness. And I mean,
look at PCO though. PCO in Ring of Honor reminds me of Terry Funk in ECW.
Yeah, totally.
You know,
I'm still waiting to see what happens, see what his matches look like. But totally, man, he's that grizzled veteran.
Yeah,
who's done a lot of shit, and he still wants to do more. You know.
Jeff Cobb would be a really cool opponent for him.
For PCO, two barrel-chested motherfuckers.
Him and Hangman Page had an awesome match.
That was a good match. It was a good match.
Hangman's great.
Hangman's one of the guys that going with the Elite as well.
Is he though?
Yeah. He's
leaving.
He's leaving as well. He said his buys as well.
Right. So he's gone from Ring of Honor and probably New Japan because he's not booked, I don't think, for Wrestle Kingdom. Cody is, but Cody's the U.S. champion here. And he's going to defend against Juice Robinson, so you figure he drops the belt and then he goes away from New Japan.
Yeah.
Hangman is booked for the opening match on Wrestle Kingdom in a gauntlet match, a 6-man gauntlet to determine the number one contenders for the 6-man tag team titles.
What's the who?
It's Michael Elgin, Jeff Cobb, and David Finlay.
Ooh.
Against the Elite, represented by Hangman Page, Yujiro Takahashi, and Marty Scurll.
Cool.
Versus Chaos, represented by Hiroko Goto, Beretta, and Chucky T. Versus Suzuki-gun, man, Minoru Suzuki, Lance Archer, and Davey Boy Smith Jr. Suzuki in the pre-show match.
Wow. That's actually my girlfriend's favorite
Suzuki
wrestler.
Is the best. Suzuki Ichiban, you know? Suzuki-gun.
Erica
I love the whole Suzuki-gun.
Suzuki because he kicks people in the face, he punches them in the face, even if you're on the same team, he might do that to you.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Did you see him in the World Tag League? He even wrestled some of his guys because it was him and Iska, and then they wrestled the Killer Elite Squad there, Archer and Smith, and Suzuki was like more vicious on them than he is everybody else.
He beat up his own guys, some railings and stuff. It's fantastic.
Suzuki went crazy against his own guys in the World Tag League.
Yeah,
Suzuki's been kind of brought down a notch over the past year. Like, Suzuki started 2018. He lost to Goto, but then he beat Tanahashi for the Intercontinental title, and he was really up one of the top guys in New Japan. But I feel like over the past few months, he's been dropped down the card, and I don't like that at all. I want Suzuki up in the top of the card.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't want him on this pre-show match in a 6-man gauntlet with a bunch of guys. Like, this is Minoru Suzuki. He's one of the top guys in New Japan.
Yeah, I think he's fantastic, and I always want to see him. And you're right, he has taken a notch down. And I'm actually I was talking about the MSG show, and he's not on it either. So
what? He's not even on it?
He's not even on the show. So
see, if I go see New Japan, I want to go see Suzuki.
Me too. So I was pretty upset about that, but I will survive.
I guess we need to make a trip to Japan to really see the authentic shit.
Yeah. Speaking of New Japan, we should talk about
Wrestle Kingdom. Or what?
Why not the World Tag League?
Yeah.
Tag League final,
which was won by Evil and Sanada, which I think we maybe predicted at the beginning of this thing. It seemed like they had a good shot of winning because it's Evil and Sanada. They're the top tag team in New Japan. There's really...
And I predicted it was going to be against the Guerrillas of Destiny in the end, too. The final match. It had to be one of those two that would win. And the Guerrillas have been on top for too long now. So
they're still the tag team champions.
Yeah, they're still the champs. And so they lose nothing by losing. They still have their belts. But honestly, I felt they didn't look that great in that final match. I find Evil and Sanada really outclassed them in a way. I don't know how to describe that. And Evil's definitely been on a rise. You can almost see how we're just talking about Suzuki going down. At the same time, Evil's been going up.
Yeah,
I found, and I've always digged that because I'm a man of how would you say, extreme or over the top gimmicks. And him coming in with his masks and his Sith and stuff.
Yeah, and his promos and everything.
I really dig that stuff. So
I think Evil and Sanada are going to be the next guys to kind of move up the card in New Japan. They seem to be getting groomed for it. Sanada had a title match with Okada when Okada was having his long run. Evil had that match with Jericho. It was kind of a weird... It's like, oh, Evil gets to wrestle Jericho, I think they're going to do something. They have their sights set on those guys as future players in the company. They're a tag team now, but...
Yeah, I really don't think that tag team will last long. There's something about it that doesn't fit right. I don't know. I think
either they turn on each other, or they both turn on Naito, or Naito turns on them. Something has to happen where they break up, and it's going to be meaningful, And New Japan does that very well. The kind of breakups and the changing of the guard. That said, Okada is wrestling Jay White. Okada representing himself and his Chaos crew, and Jay White now the leader of the Bullet Club, because the Elite is gone. All those guys are not in it anymore. The Bullet Club is Jay White and the Tongans.
Isn't that crazy how
and
it's changed over a year?
It's changed so much over the past year.
Man, it's so different now.
Do you remember when Kenny Omega asked Jay White to join the Bullet Club?
Yeah.
And Jay White turned him down and attacked him and joined Chaos instead, joined up with Okada. And now he ends the year turning his back on Okada and turning his, of course, always hated Kenny Omega. And now he's the leader of the Bullet Club, the group he didn't want to be in at the beginning of the year.
He's a great heel, too. He's fantastic. I mean, that's a real heel faction with... the Guerrillas, which are a great heel, and he's the best heel out there right now, I think.
Yeah,
it's great. So
he's very hateable, and that match with Okada will probably be amazing.
Yeah, Okada White, that should be a great match. Actually,
who do you think wins?
I'd say, I don't know. I guess on first instinct I would go with White because he's on such a meteoric rise, if you will. But Okada, he can't lose too much. He's already lost, I think, his fill this year. So
yes.
I don't know,
I think he's lost enough.
Yeah.
He's got to win. He's got to get his revenge.
Yeah.
Okada's got to win here.
But you have the whole Bullet Club thing in there, so that throws everything up.
Yeah.
I could even see New Japan having a disqualification or something. I don't know.
Yeah, on a big card, though, this is kind of a payoff match. That would suck.
Yeah, it would. But there's other payoff matches. So.
That's right. How about that match we were talking about, the gauntlet for the number one contenders for the open weight 6-man tag titles? Ryusuke Taguchi and Togi Makabe and Toru Yano also in this match. As I mentioned, you got Harry Smith, Lance Archer, Suzuki, Chucky T, Beretta, Goto, Cobb, Elgin, Finley, and Hangman, Yujiro, and Skrull. That one could go either way, right?
Yeah.
That could go to anybody.
I like the team of Cobb and Elgin. There's a big beefy team.
Yeah, they were good during the World Tag League too. They're a fun team.
Yeah, so I would go with them. But again, it's just the number one contenders. So
I'm going to go with Suzuki.
It's really nothing. Yeah,
I mean, you got to do something with Suzuki,
like
Archer, and Smith.
Seems like he's in a throw together team.
Yeah,
together.
But those are the top guys.
Smith Jr. He looks more like his name is Lance Archer than Harry Smith. It's just switch names. I don't know why.
He looks pretty impressive, though.
He does.
He's gigantic. How tall is that guy?
About as tall as me.
Yeah.
I met him at one of Johnny North's shows there.
Uh-oh.
What was it? CRW something or other.
Okay.
I was I was giving Green Phantom stickers to the kids, and the kids were asking him to sign them.
All right, Kota Ibushi, Will Ospreay. Ibushi and Omega teamed up last weekend and wrestled Tanahashi and Ospreay in a classic match.
Fantastic. One of the best matches I've seen, Dave Simon.
Yeah?
I didn't see it.
Yeah. You haven't got around to it yet, but you will watch it because it was amazing. Like, you will very much enjoy this match. It was very, very good. People are saying it was one of the best matches of 2018. It was really incredible stuff.
With those people involved in it, I would expect nothing less because, I mean, Kenny Omega is the best match man, right?
Well, best belt machine.
Best belt machine.
That's it.
So
yeah. And they're a great tag team, Kenny
really,
and Kota.
Yeah, he really never disappoints. Those Golden Lovers, they teased him a little bit last year, so I'm glad to see them back together in action.
Kenny has taken a lot of heat lately. People are saying Kenny's not wrestling enough in New Japan. He's not defending the title enough. He's not a good champion.
Who's saying that? Fuck them.
There was like a video out. Somebody was like really just ripping Kenny Omega, and a lot of people online were kind of saying, maybe Kenny Omega's not such a great champion.
Well,
I disagree, though. He's an incredible wrestler and probably the best in-ring talent that there is in the world today.
Just because he doesn't wrestle every single night, honestly, his style of wrestling, he couldn't. I think he's perfectly fine. He does great matches all the time. Has a high work rate in those matches. So, these people who want more of him, in the end, they just want more of him. So maybe by them saying that,
but that's not the criticism. It's more he's working other dates other than New Japan, and not focusing enough on New Japan and focusing on indie stuff and maybe elite stuff more.
You can say that about all of them, right? Cody, you can say that about Young Bucks, whatever. They need to make a living. So all those extra dates is extra money, and whatever those people.
But they're saying that maybe he's taking those extra dates instead of working certain New Japan tours, and people are questioning what he's loyal to. Is it New Japan or is it?
I think they're all
something
loyal
else.
To themselves. I think at the heart of it, they're loyal to themselves. But if there's a second to that, it would be the New Japan. But now with this new Fed coming up, it might be that before, because it's going to be more lucrative, even as lucrative as it is right now for them. They're raking in that money. This could even be more. So I think they're loyal to themselves, to the bottom line, to the dollar first before anything. And the people who have that criticism, they don't work in that business. There's no way a professional wrestler would say that, because we know that it's a payday, man. Fuck that, idiots. They don't know shit. Marks.
That's right. I disagree with those guys. I watched a video.
You tell those
where
guys to come see me. I'll tell them.
Yeah.
I'll tell them what's what.
It's just crazy. I think Kenny is a tremendous champion, mostly because he's the best wrestler in the world. So why not have him as your champion however many dates he wants to work? And I think he's working plenty in New Japan and has provided New Japan with plenty of incredible matches in 2018, right?
Every single one of his matches has been great. And some of them have been even better than that.
But there's a certain style that he wrestles, and Hiroshi Tanahashi is different than him and doesn't like his style, and maybe is part of the criticism of Kenny Omega. And there's talk that Kenny might go away, or Kenny is not focused on New Japan, and he's the world champion there, and he's taken on the ace, the guy who's always been that guy for New Japan.
I'm pretty sure Ace takes that one. I'm pretty sure.
You think so? You think he takes it back?
I think so.
That's a big statement from New Japan, though, because
Kenny's had it for a long time.
Yeah,
he's had it for a long time, and I think some people, almost to what you were just saying a little bit in that same vein, I think some people are scared that Kenny's become bigger than the company in a way, and like they need to maybe bring him down a notch,
right?
Because he's been running, whatever wild New Japan, nothing stands in his way,
But Kenny and the Elite and Chris Jericho have been a big part of the expansion of New Japan.
Yeah, for sure.
And taking the titles at Wrestle Kingdom off of Kenny, Cody, and Jericho, they're all, American guys, well, Canadian American guys,
Yeah, whoa, don't throw us in the same
Jericho
same basket as that.
I mean, Jericho, he grew up in Winnipeg. He's born in Manhattan. He lives in Florida. I think he's probably lived in the States longer than he has in Canada. He's definitely Canadian. I'm not revoking his Canadian card, but,
Yeah, true.
His kids are American. I think his wife is American, so he's pretty close. And, Cody's American, too. The American Nightmare. But Kenny is Canadian through and through, but, I think he's Japanese at this point. He lives more in Japan than anywhere.
He speaks Japanese better than French, I think.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, definitely, I would say.
I'd like to talk to him about it.
Yeah, talk to him in French, see how he does. But, if New Japan takes the titles off all these guys, they're sending a certain message. That the Japanese guys are really what New Japan is all about, and maybe this expansion isn't all it's cracked up to be. But at the same time, they have this huge show at Madison Square Garden, co-promoted with Ring of Honor, but still, it's a New Japan show. So the expansion isn't doing badly, it's doing well. So to reel back and to put the title on all these Japanese guys would be an interesting statement from New Japan. I don't know if that would mean, we're going to start or stop booking a lot of this American talent or book them less than we have in the top positions. But that's what it's going to feel like, right?
Yeah. But you know what? You forgot to mention part of the meteoric rise of New Japan is what's Phantom in Japan as well.
Yeah,
Simon.
Of course, this is part of it.
We're part of this resurgence as well. This rise.
We're helping the cause.
We certainly are.
So you think that Tanahashi is going to beat Kenny Omega? Yeah, I think Kenny is going to beat Tanahashi because New Japan is moving forward.
All right. Well, you could be right.
So I'm going with Kenny, and I think no matter what, we agree that the match will probably be
fantastic,
one of the greatest wrestling matches we ever see, right?
Yeah.
We have Chris Jericho defending his IWGP Intercontinental title against Naito. Jericho took this title from Naito. He said he didn't want to wrestle Naito again. He said he wanted to wrestle Suzuki or Okada or somebody else. Jericho-Suzuki, to me, would have been the match to make.
Yeah, I agree. It would have been better, but they have. I think because I think Jericho might lose that one as well.
Yeah, well, I think this is obviously Naito getting the win back. Naito saving face, getting his title back from Jericho, so that he can go on and be the top guy in New Japan that he is.
And honestly, the last couple times I saw Jericho, he looked a little out of shape. He looked a little gassed out.
You didn't like him on the cruise there with the Bucks?
On the cruise, he looked a little fat. I don't know. He looked a little chubby. Maybe even because of his looks, I felt he was a lot slower as well. I don't know. But, I love him in New Japan. He's Chris Swerrico, right?
Yeah.
And even his things about Naito now are fantastic. Where Naito's promos, honestly, they're fucking boring. I mean, I watch them. I don't understand Japanese, so it's translated, and I don't know, it's boring, man.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's lost.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. But
Tranquilo, man, tranquilo. But it's
I like him.
He's probably too tranquilo for me.
He's a good wrestler, though. In the ring, he's really good.
Fantastic.
And the match with Jericho, the last one was great. This will probably be great too.
It's gonna be great.
But I think Naito's taking his title back. Okada and White. You think White will win, and I think Okada's going to get his. Or what? You thought Okada was going to win?
No, I thought. Well, actually, it was a toss up.
It's tough,
but the whole Bullet Club involvement can change the face of that in a second.
Yeah,
I will take back what I said about maybe a disqualification because it's just it's too high in the card, I think.
Cody against Juice Robinson. Cody defending his IWGP US title. This is like a no-brainer, right? He's going to drop the belt here. Their last match was all right. This will be all right, too.
Yeah, and honestly, Juice is he's done a lot better than I like. He's actually caught my attention a little bit. He's all right. It should be a good match. I mean, it should be a good match.
Yeah, but he's definitely going to win the title. Cody's on his way out. That's why he's here. Kushida defending the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title against Taiji Ishimori. That should be a tremendous match.
I can't picture who's Ishimori.
Ishimori is the new Bullet Club guy. He's the Bone Soldier.
Yeah, okay. He's like ripped.
Yeah, he's like the small, ripped Japanese guy.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure.
He's good, you know?
I'd have to see more of him to really give it a good opinion.
Well, this match will be good. You know Kushida. Kushida is solid.
Yeah.
He's kind of like the Tanahashi of the junior heavyweights right now.
Yeah.
Guerrillas of Destiny defending their tag titles against Los Ingobernables, Sanada, and Evil, and the Young Bucks. The Bucks just kind of thrown into this one. I think either the Guerrillas of Destiny or Sanada and Evil win. There's no way the Bucks win. But I could see Sanada and Evil taking the titles back here.
Perhaps. I mean, because I feel like they really dominated the Guerrillas last show. So, you know, it'd be really a take. They really took them down. If they beat them again, especially straight up like that, it'll be a lot. But then in the end, they can just pin the Young Bucks and get the titles. Right.
That's it.
So I would say that's more the likely what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then after, you know, I don't know if they want to keep the feud going or whatever, it'll be some sort of beatdown or whatnot. But,
yeah, that's it. You know. Ingobernables versus the Bullet Club type deal.
What I'm looking forward to, just because I've become more and more of a fan of his, is Zack Sabre.
Yes. His match at Ring of Honor's final battle against Jonathan Gresham. Did you see that?
Yeah.
It was a cool match because at Gresham, I had not seen him before, but he has a similar style to Zack Sabre, very kind of technical,
flowy,
old school
submission and stuff, you know, old school, almost British style, if you will, British submission style.
And he's small too. He's like 5'4", they were saying.
They're both little men, you know, and that's my biggest knock on Zack Sabre is that he looks like a kid, you know.
He's picked up some size, though.
But he's growing. He's as he gets older, he's just going to start looking better and better, I think.
Yeah.
You know, he's just going to gain weight.
He's 31 years old.
Wow.
He does not look 31.
Not at all, man. Jeez.
He looks about 25.
And that's what I thought he was. I would never have guessed that. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah. He's wrestling Tomohiro Ishii for the British heavyweight title, and that match should be awesome. It seems like the British heavyweight title should be Zack Sabre Jr.'s, right? I think he probably wins here. Zack Sabre is like a moderately pushed guy in New Japan, like a upper mid-card type guy. Suzuki-gun, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and El Desperado defending their junior heavyweight tag titles against Roppongi 3K and Los Ingobernables, represented by Bushi and Shingo Takagi. Shingo Takagi's that new guy in Los Ingobernables.
I don't remember him.
Another ripped Japanese guy.
Okay.
There's a lot of them in New Japan.
There's a lot of them,
They're pretty ripped, yeah. That match, it's not really selling the card for me.
No,
I think probably Kanemaru. The tag division in New Japan is just not that strong right now.
It's almost too much. There's just too many. There's too many teams that aren't teams. You know,
that's it.
You know, like they just throw them together. Like they have to say representing these two dudes.
Well, that's it, because everybody's kind of separated into these large groups. So then they just throw two dudes and make them a tag team, and that's how World Tag League was kind of put together too, right? A lot of these kind of makeshift tag teams, and you know, eventually the real tag team of Sanada and Evil wound up winning. Finally, on this Wrestle Kingdom card. What could be match of the night, Kota Ibushi defending his newly won Never Openweight title. I love the move of putting him as the Never Openweight champion. We had different guys holding that belt this year. Goto was the champion for a while. I think Togi Makabe had it for a little bit. But now it's with Kota Ibushi, and I like that he's got a title that he can defend. It's a good way to feature him, and it's a good reason for him and Will Ospreay to wrestle, because those two in the ring, it's going to be magic.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. And I remember our last episode of What's Phantom in Japan, we talked about how Ibushi was a little bit lost. He wasn't found. And since then, he did win that title and stuff. So I hope that keeps going for him, because he's a great talent. He's great looking. He has a great physique. His moves are fantastic. Some of his attitude is pretty cool too. I haven't really seen any promos out of him, but
he rarely talks. It's mostly Kenny doing the talking and then saying,
exactly.
"Hey, Ibushi-san, you got anything to say?"
So his character is all in ring developed. So
yeah.
But we'll see.
But he's over like crazy. People love him in Japan.
Yeah, I mean, the girls must love him.
Mm-hmm.
The guys must love him too, and his moves are fantastic. And again, he's jacked too. He's a jacked flyer.
Yeah,
and he's tall. He's not.
He can do everything.
Yeah, he's like all these little guys flippity dippity around. He can do all that stuff, and still he's like double their size, half of them.
He is not featured in the way that Naito or Okada or Tanahashi or Omega, but he's just as good as any of those guys, if not better.
Yeah.
You saw that match with him and Tanahashi in the, I think it was the G1 final, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which was crazy. Mm-hmm. You see Ibushi featured in these roles, and you see that this guy could carry the whole company.
Yeah, the first time I saw him was actually against my buddy El Generico, and that's the first time I heard of him and saw him, and he right then and there I knew there's something special there. He's fantastic.
This guy's older than me. Kota Ibushi's older than me? How's that possible? He's 36 years old.
Wow, he doesn't look it at all.
No.
Asians are lucky.
These Japanese guys age very well.
Yeah, they can go forever.
Yeah. But we can't go forever because the show's almost over here. We're wrapping up. When is your next match? When can people, see the thing being done?
Local Rogers TV in Toronto. I'll be wrestling for what's it called? I forget. It's a Fed run out of Oshawa. Anyway, I forget.
C4?
No, that's Ottawa.
I don't know.
I want to say Eclipse Wrestling. That's what it is.
Okay.
And then at the end of the month in January, the IWS is again back at Club Unity hosting another show, and that'll be actually a show against another Fed in Quebec City. So it's like, it's like a city versus city show. So that should be pretty good. I think it's January 28th, the last Saturday in January.
Is that NSPW?
Yeah, I didn't want to really say their name.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine.
Sorry.
I'm just working the gimmick.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Fuck them. Fuck Quebec City.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then WrestleMania weekend. Actually, IWS we have a show in Jersey on the Saturday. I will be wrestling and then going to see the New Japan show.
Whoa.
So that'll be cool.
And going to WrestleMania.
And going to WrestleMania. And
this year, Braun Strowman, when you're looking for a tag team partner, don't get a child. Take Green Phantom.
Yeah, and the IWS's 20th anniversary show actually is happening in Metropolis in the spring. I don't know the exact date. It'll be like Tajiri versus Speedball Mike Bailey. David Arquette's going to be there.
Whoa.
A bunch of different things. A fans bring weapons match, of course. I don't know the specifics of the card right now, but it'll be stacked. The British Strong Style will be there.
You had me at Tajiri.
Yeah.
Tajiri is still wrestling.
Yeah, it's still wrestling.
Man,
it looks in pretty good shape too. Those Asians,
that's right.
They're fantastic.
They fight forever.
Yeah, they really do fight forever.
All right, check them out on Twitter at the
Green Phantom 514.
At
Instagram Green Phantom 514.
Yes.
Facebook Green Phantom.
Yes.
And check out Dave Simon at
Instagram and Twitter, Dave Simon MMA, WrestlingUncensored.net, RingsideReport.net, YouTube.com/RingsideReport.net, where we have all the shows. Dave and Johnny Live, What's Phantom in Japan, Wrestling Uncensored, Ringside Report Radio, the UFC post shows. I mean, we're very busy. Ringside Report Radio is on at a new time now.
Oh, cool.
7 p.m. Friday nights. Prime time. So we're very busy. Very busy. So many shows all the time. RingsideReport.net. Go there.
before we close out, I just want to say big up to Johnny North. Now, why don't you go win yourself a real title, motherfucker?
Oh, man.
What's Phantom in Japan? See you later, brother.